Hey y'all, welcome back to Neon's Movie Reviews. I'm Neon, this is my review channel, this is my buddy Nate, and today we are talking about 1971's The Andromeda Strain. Now, this film I've grown up with. I first saw it when I was 10, and it's one of my favorite fucking movies that got me into Michael Crichton, along with like Jurassic Park and his other works. But this was your first time seeing this, right?
Last night.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on this film?
I really liked it. It was Contagion if it were made in 1971, maybe. You know, I liked the level of science that was put into it. You know, it wasn't just it was way more Contagion than Outbreak.
Oh yeah, it's not a Hollywood movie.
No.
Yeah.
It was exciting in a completely cerebral way. It wasn't.
Yes.
Here's an exciting action set piece. Here's an exciting action set piece again. All right, we'll give you a couple minutes of some mumbo jumbo that doesn't actually scientifically pan out. Like in the opening credits, it talks about gave credit to Jet Propulsion Labs, and I think it was Caltech.
Yes.
For being the science advisors on the script of the movie. So right away, a science nerd. I like that stuff, so I was like, awesome, I'm excited. I'm gonna get something more realistic.
Well, and also Michael Crichton, who wrote the book, he comes from a medical background, was a doctor. ER is based on his life work in the hospital. Like
the television show with Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, that's based on his experiences as a doctor.
No clue.
Yeah, and then after that, he was just like, you know what? I'm gonna be a sci-fi science fiction thriller writer, and came out with like Andromeda Strain and Great Train Robbery and fucking Jurassic Park, and then from there he was hugely successful.
And we talked about that earlier. That the only one of his books I've read is The Lost World. That's the only one.
Not Jurassic Park.
Not Jurassic Park. The Lost World.
Yes.
So,
but you did like The Lost World.
It was hauntingly scary, and again, cerebral. It was
very intelligent.
Right. It was fun to read.
Yeah. No, and that's how all of his books are, and that's like. You look at the adaptations, and for the most part, they've done a decent job. Jurassic Park is definitely much lighter than the source material and the franchises as a whole. Sphere was pretty close in tone and to his style, and then he'll do weird stuff like Disclosure or Rising Sun.
I've seen way more of his movies than I've read his books. Rising Sun, I don't think I've seen, but
It's
Disclosure, we're talking about the Demi Moore.
Michael Douglas one. Yep.
Yeah, I've seen that. I had no idea that was great.
Yep. It's a little different than his normal stuff.
I knew Jurassic Park was, and I think that's it.
Okay.
As far as what I knew.
I know I've been trying to get you to see this one, but Timeline is by him as well. It's that Fast and Furious kid. Can't think of his name.
Paul Walker.
Yes. It's that medieval one that he's in that you kind of laugh at every time I mention it. But it's based on his work.
I know it's not popular for me to say, but I'm just not a Paul Walker fan.
You don't need to be. It's still a decent film. Brian Connolly, is that his name? Guy from Boondock Saints.
I'm not certain.
He's like a Scottish or Irish comedian.
You're talking about the guy who played the father.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's the same.
Okay. He's in there, and then very, very early Gerald Butler. But yeah,
so
roundabout.
did you rewatch this?
Yes.
Recently? So
yeah, I watched this.
How many times approximately would you say you've seen this movie?
15, 20.
So at this point, was there something that you caught that you made you appreciate it more, or lower your opinion of it on this latest rewatch?
No, I appreciate it about the same. I just, every time I do watch this film, it's...
This is not a short film.
No, it's not. But for me, it doesn't feel like it's a long movie either. So for me, I just am absorbed into it.
It didn't feel long. It wasn't Pulp Fiction. You know, like I love Pulp Fiction, but by the end of that movie, you're just. I know it's not as long as like the director's cut of Return of the King, but it kind of almost feels that way because I love the movie, but it's so dialogue driven and it's very long.
See, and for me, that one
and Chasing Amy.
Chasing Amy, not so much there, but Pulp Fiction, I don't have that issue with just because of how it's broken up, and you know, it's at least like, and I know something's going to happen. I'm just waiting for it. So there is that. This one, right from the get-go, I am very intrigued. Like, you have that, for me, one of the best scenes in the movie.
The flyover.
Right after is where the first recon team, right in the opening,
when you only hear them screaming and
just describing what they're seeing initially, and then just the two screams and the thuds, and that's it. And it's just that, oh fuck, okay. And then from there you have them like, okay, like send out we're going to this alert, get the team ready. You have everybody, the wives and the moms and everything are all just like, there's soldiers with guns outside. Right. What's going on?
Right, the one that was like, we're having a dinner party.
Like, I don't care. Fire. Okay, I have to go.
All right. She's like, when will you be back? I don't know.
I forgot when she goes to call her dad.
It's the governor's daughter.
Yes, and then the line gets cut off, and it's like, sorry, for reasons of national security,
this line has been disabled.
Yeah, so
we're monitoring this line.
Shit's very serious, and then if you paid attention to the film's rating before going in. When they go to the town, it's G rating. Very, very surprising. Because there's nudity, there's wrist getting slit open, and they find that everybody...
What with Pixie Steak coming out?
But still. It's still... I mean, you're also seeing an entire town of dead people. Sure. In a G-rated movie that's still quite... disturbing.
It looks like a flash mob. They were the first flash mob. They were just like, gotcha.
What about the...
They went to cut the guy's wrist open. He's like, oh my God, I gotta break character. This guy really slit my wrist.
With the lady hanging.
Right.
And
she was like the Goonies. She had a little thing. She had a little thing attached behind her. It was really hanging from that.
No, but for me that was very scary though, because just going into town, everybody's dead, no explanations. You can tell that not everybody died at once, but the others that must have been equally as terrifying if not more, and most of them are dead. And then there's one crying baby. And one alcoholic old man, and they somehow survived.
Yeah, I liked...
The mystery is fucking great.
Right, I liked the way they set that up. I liked the tech they showed them using.
That was amazing.
As they're descending through the levels, like irradiate. We just blasted off the top 2 layers of your skin, like... I started going like, wow, like I don't think we have this tech right now.
I remember you showed me there was that one video where the guy was talking about the different levels of like how they show decontamination and stuff like that in movies, and he talks about it in Andromeda Strain, and he was just like, no, we don't burn clothes. That would be. I understand they're saying it's paper, but the process to make paper clothes that comfortable and to just burn them like that doesn't make sense. And then also, no, you would not burn the outer layer of your skin off. That would just be prone to infection, and like, no, that's not what you would do.
Right. This is the antithesis of what you would be wanting to do.
Yes. So I love, but watching it, you believe it. You don't really question it. You're just like, oh, okay, whatever.
Sure. Sounds legit.
1971.
If I'm going to believe that there's a virus that could do this, then I can believe that this could be a thing in this fictional world.
Not only that, but this is 1971, so the level that they're going to, and everything else, I believe, is really just that one part, and that's the just like, so for them to have that idea already in that time, and then comparing it to the content that's coming out now, like
no,
the level of intelligence is well surpassing the most intelligent stuff that's coming out now, and that was something that I found very surprising.
At least the stuff that's getting a mainstream
Blockbuster
view.
Yes, big theatrical releases are not intelligent anymore.
Yeah, no, I was very pleasantly surprised with how much, because I'll be honest, Neon and I have talked about this before. I the older the movies get, the more I have a tendency to kind of just be like, not interested. For somebody who grew up on Pong, Atari 2600, and then NES, I can't stand playing games that look like Minecraft and stuff now. I'm just like, no! I grew up with that. I don't want that anymore. Give me the good graphics. He'll tell me about a movie, and I'm like, oh, it's black and white. I don't know. That's a hard sell.
And I'm just like cringing that it's just like stopping at black and white.
It's not an automatic stop, but I want to know why you really want me to watch this movie that has no color. I don't know. I see in color. There are newer movies that are black and white that I've liked, but no, I didn't.
But they're stylistic,
right?
Chosen to be that way.
I understood that this movie was even a few years before, Star Wars, but the special effects they weren't amazing, but they didn't do anything in the movie that they really needed amazing, special effects to sell me on their concept, to sell me on why I should be afraid.
And when they did use special effects, they were convincing. For me, there's that one part, and I remember as a kid, I stood up when it happened, because I was like, oh fuck. It was that scene where you see it mutate for the first time, where it just happens, where it just grows.
Oh, and it's like starts flashing colors and vibrating.
Yeah, and it's just like, what? No! Oh fuck! No! That just changed everything about this. And
it's a live organism.
Yeah. And I was like 10, and I was just instantly just like, oh fuck.
Right.
But still today, that effect, I will gladly take that effect any day over CGI. Because that was, somebody made that. That was tangible. I knew that was tangible. May not look the greatest, but because it's tangible, and I know that, and it's just distortions and all in camera, I can buy it easier. I don't have that uncanny valley issue.
Right.
But yeah, I like the slow pacing as well. It builds the tension for that big ending that they have, which is almost the last half of your movie. If it's your last act, but it feels like runtime wise, it's a good chunk of your film.
They're showing the issues of, we didn't receive any messages. Piece of paper.
Just, yep.
They're computer engineers. They're, you hear the general speaking with the Senate Oversight Committee, and what is after the events of the movie. He's just like, well, like, why didn't they find that? They're computer engineers. They assumed it was something electrically wrong. Why they weren't receiving it? That's what they were looking at.
Mm-hmm. Not something physical.
Right.
Yeah.
And literally right in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, this is a real life element. Like there are times when you're looking for something more difficult, and
I love that first scene where they introduce how that thing works too, because the guy's so condescending about it. He's just like,
I have one job. I kind of liked what he had to say.
Oh, it was great.
But like, there's a bell. It goes off. And I take the message.
Right.
And I push this button.
Now, like, that he's probably been asked that 6 times that day by this guy. And so the guy's just like, fine, okay, well, notify me immediately. Of course! It's my one job.
All right. When it was something similar was said when one of the scientists were being taken out of their home, and the soldiers are there, and they're just like, is he gonna be all right? And they're like, man, we're here to protect him.
Yes.
Like, he's like, I'm as safe with them as I am with you. Like, these guys aren't here to hurt me. You don't understand what I do for a living on the side. You don't really understand my job.
Well, and I love that scene where they go down to the secret elevator, and it's just like, oh, okay, cool.
Going to the supply room.
And I'm blanking on the scientist's name, but the female scientist.
I don't remember any of their names, I'll be honest.
But she was definitely my favorite character in the film.
She had the most personality. I mean, the other ones I was like,
okay,
all right, like,
yeah.
Well, I think because she got probably the longest intro.
Because they had to convince her.
Right. And she was like, piss off, I'm not coming with you. I have my own work to do.
Yeah.
Eventually she was, they're like, ma'am. She's like, back off, I'm coming with you. But they kind of gave her the most intro.
Well, that you had that, and then when she gets to the place, you see there's the flashing lights, and she's like, oh, don't like red, and it's just like, oh, okay. And then you get the big payoff at the end, and there was a couple other parts throughout where it was because there's the one, she has the one seizure. That's right. When she finds it, and you're just like, that's it. That's the one. And and it's just going through the whole cycle again. And and then she freezes up there at the end when all the alarms are going off, and it's just like, fuck. And you got the people that are like thinking that she's infected or that she's got it. I adore this film. I'd
give it a rewatch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the guy who made this too, Robert Wise, he's really, really good director. He did Great Escape. He did Sand Pebbles. He did Day the Earth Stood Still, the original one. He did the Star Trek, the first film.
The motion picture.
The motion picture, yes. But yeah, just really, really talented filmmaker. He's done a bunch of other stuff too. I'm just blanking on him. But he definitely has a thing for sci-fi and doing unique takes with sci-fi.
This was definitely one.
Yeah. But anything else you wanted to talk about this?
I'd easily give this movie 7.5. Easily.
7.5? Okay. I would probably give this. I adore this film. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10.
Right on.
Yeah, like this is one of my all-time favorite films. Still just as scary today, especially with the current climate and everything.
Not as scary as my first watch of Contagion a while back.
No, Contagion's a little more relevant.
Contagion. It was
an intense watch.
Yeah.
I have been dreading rewatching it post-COVID. So let me put it that way.
I mean, COVID doesn't have the 30%, death rate that the Contagion one has. That's more like, Ebola.
No, but I remember watching Contagion and just being like, there was the mobs of people and all of that, and I was just like, come on, people aren't going to be that selfish in this. And it's just like, oh boy, how I eat my words.
Yeah, the thing for me on that one was the mayor. Like, oh, now it's an epidemic. And then later she was like, and who's going to pay for all this? Is this on your budget or on mine? And I was just like,
that's how it is.
But, yeah,
Not
I like the Andromeda Strain.
Yes. Andromeda Strain, I fucking adore this film. But, yeah, that's going to wrap this up. Stay tuned. We got a lot more content. If you enjoyed this, please give this video a like and definitely subscribe. Really helps out the channel. Got a lot more content coming out in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, just gonna wrap this up. Catch you next time.
Yeah.
Stay safe.